Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the aftermath of another shambolic performance, another limp, pathetic exit to a domestic cup competition, and another day at the circus that is Chelsea Football Club. Where do we begin with all that from last night and where we are as a club in general? There's so many places we could start, guys. So many places we could start. But yeah, the worst thing about all this is it wasn't even a surprise. It wasn't even a surprise that we turned up, put in that level of performance, and got dumped out like the load of shit that we were last night. It's getting out of hand now. It is getting out of hand what is going on. People need to wake up and realize what is happening here. It was an abject performance. We did absolutely nothing last night. It's not even like in previous games where we created loads of chances, but our finishing let us down, and that's why I didn't pick results up. This game, the one goal we scored was a complete fluke. Just Palmer's cross slash shot was just pushed into the goal by Verbruggen. And then after that, I can't remember a single opportunity we created. We had one shot on target, maybe two at best. Absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Things weren't great in the away end last night. There was a real sense of defeatism, if that's even a word. Obviously, there was Roman chants. I mean, I understand why people are doing that. It's not going to, what good that's going to do. I don't really know. The attack looked like a bottom half of the table attack. There was defensively, we were shambolic. Midfield, there was nothing. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Yet somehow we are still in fourth place in the Premier League. How are we still in the top four? How on earth are we still in the top four? And the reason for that is because of a lack of consistency from everyone else and the fact that we made a very good start to the season, but that buffer now has been completely and utterly eroded. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here, guys. Would greatly appreciate it. Let's see what some of you lot are saying in the chat, and then let's dive into it. I can't blame the manager anymore. Reason why Chelsea in this mess. Yeah, I hear you on that. All goes back to the ownership. They're the ones dictating to the sporting directors. Everyone's focus needs to be, yeah, for sure. Look, the League Cup was bad. FA Cup, look, the Cup last night, it was pathetic performance. Absolutely pathetic performance. But I wouldn't say that we threw that like it would like the Carabao Cup. Absolutely not. We needed a striker, and now we have none. We're completely nullified. Yeah, of course we are. Brighton had 3 strikers in their squad last night who all would have started for us. Rutter, Danny Welbeck, and Joao Pedro. All 3 of those start for us last night. And yet you've got people defending the directors and defending the way that this squad's been put together. Nah, less of that. It is absolutely ridiculous and absolutely pathetic on all levels. Nkunku needs to go. Yep, Nkunku was abysmal last night. Absolutely abysmal. He had 1 touch in the Brighton box. But why are we surprised? We know that he's not a number 9. We've seen him play shit as a number 9 already this season. Maresca's already said he's not a number 9. So why are people surprised when Nkunku's played as a 9 and he's shit? That shouldn't be a surprise. Again, we're going to dive into this. People calling for the manager to go are feeding into the narrative the club want you to have. The club want you to think the manager's to blame. But ultimately, nothing's going to change if the directors do not leave. Nothing will change. And we'll be having the same conversation in 12 months' time about the next manager who potentially comes in. We're never going to break the cycle. We are never, ever going to break the cycle if we just keep getting rid of managers without actually getting rid of the root cause themselves, without getting rid of the root cause. It's as simple as that, guys. Simple as that. That's the narrative they want you to have. That's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that it's all on the manager. Criticism of Maresca in isolation is warranted, absolutely. But if you cannot see that the problem is bigger than the manager, then that is a real issue, because there is a recurring theme here. Pochettino not backed, Maresca not backed, Potter, they just dumped loads and loads of players on him. Like, there is a recurring theme here, guys, and it's not the manager. It's the directors and the ownership who are at fault here and who are causing issues. So the manager is not blameless, but this problem is far greater than the manager. Far, far greater. And the amount of gaslighting that's been going on, the amount of bullshit that these lot want you to believe, it's completely and utterly shambolic. Completely and utterly shambolic. Completely and utterly shambolic. But the problem now is that you've got a mediocre, weak mentality seeping through the club. You know, it's the manager, it's the players, and that comes from the top. Weak mentality. The comments after the exit, if there's a positive, we can now focus on the Premier League. There's no positives to going out of the FA Cup. Absolutely zero. Don't try and dress this up as anything other than an abject failure last night. There are zero positives to exiting the FA Cup. Why is the manager coming out and saying, if there's a positive to take, it's that we can focus on the Premier League? No. Less of that shit. Less of it. Less of it, less of it, less of it. It's complete and utter bullshit. The Pochettino revisionism is utter nonsense as well. Complete and utter garbage. Like, people, I've got no issue of criticizing Maresca, but as soon as people mention Pochettino, your argument loses all credibility. Despite being out of the Cups early, which is unacceptable, and yes, we did better in the Cups under Pochettino, we lost to Liverpool's reserves in the Carabao Cup final with a pathetic spineless performance. Every single tie was at home, bar in both cups. Every tie was at home, bar the FA Cup fourth round replay against Villa, where we pulled a result out of our arses, and we lost. And we had to go for the second leg of the semi-final away at Middlesbrough, which we lost, by the way. And then people are also conveniently forgetting this time last season we were fucking mid-table. We were in the bottom half of the table this time last season, and people are trying to tell me that Poch did more. Guys, come on. You lose all credibility when you bring up Pochettino. You lose all credibility. Your argument is completely baseless when you mention him, because are you not forgetting that we were fucking mid-table? Mid-table. We're fourth now. Okay, we're fourth at the moment still, and we all would have taken that in at the start of the season in February. So why are people doing up this Poch revisionism as if things were unbelievable? Yeah, we did better in the Cups. Look at the draws that we had. Look how he performed in that semi-final against City. Look how he performed in that final against Liverpool. You know, I would rather be out the Cups and in the top four than what we were doing in the Cups and be 12th. Okay, revisit at the end of the season. Fine, not a problem. But mentioning Poch is pointless. Absolutely pointless. And it achieves nothing. It achieves absolutely nothing. I don't blame Maresca for saying we can focus on the Prem this season. No, bro, it's weak, poor mentality. You know what? We can't. Suddenly we've realised that actually, we don't have a squad that can deal with multiple competitions. Despite, but we've got one of the best squads going. We're fielding two different teams in Conference League and Premier League. But now it's fine. We can focus on the Premier League because we've realised we haven't got a fucking squad capable of competing on multiple fronts. Do not get me started on how this squad has been put together. The way this squad has been assembled is nothing short of shambolic and embarrassing. It is a squad that is not fit for purpose. It is a squad that's been put together by people who have got no idea how to put a squad together. There's no balance. There was £1.5 billion debt cleared by Roman. We have now spent that £1.5 billion on mainly complete and utter dross. There's no striker. There's no number 6. There's no top-class centre-back. There's no top-class goalkeeper. £1.5 billion invested, and you are missing 4 key positions and the spine of a team. Completely and utterly unacceptable on all fronts. Sheer incompetence. Where is the accountability? Where's the accountability? Where's the fight? Where's the desire? Where's Where's the passion? Where is the responsibility from these guys to say, do you know what? Fair enough. You know, that at least there was effort and fight and desire on the pitch. There was none of that. Absolutely none of that. All this is seeping from top to bottom, mediocre, weak, pathetic mentality, you know? And at the end of the day, right, it's fine. It's fine to build a young team, but you're basically building a team based on how good you think these players are going to become. But in the right if you don't put them in the right environment, then that can very quickly turn into a mid-table level side. Chelsea is not an environment right now that is suitable for cultivating and developing these young players. And this could very quickly go south and become something like mid-table or dare I say it, even worse. There's no guarantees at all when you sign players based on a projection on how good you think they're going to be. You know, I honestly think that we've got one more season before players start thinking about, do you know what, I'm going to go after the World Cup next summer. If we aren't playing Champions League, then the likes of Caicedo, the likes of Palmer, Enzo, etc., they're going to start thinking about this and thinking, do you know what, I've had enough. Yes, Nkunku, all right, he's older, he's 28. The environment around these players is a complete and utter disgrace. A complete and utter disgrace, the environment that we've put together around these players. It is utterly, utterly useless. Utterly useless. Bro, this is... No. No, bro, the mentality's been in the bin. The mentality's been in the bin for a long time now, from top to bottom. A long time from top to bottom. What else? Guys, I'm going to have to scroll to the bottom. There's so much stuff coming in the chat. Big up to everyone that's locked in, by the way. Bro, you need to realise it weren't Maresca's choice to sell Conor Gallagher. He had no say in it whatsoever. Now, look, whether Gallagher would have played a part this season or now is irrelevant. But the reality is, Maresca was not to blame for Gallagher's sale. He had no say in it whatsoever. And Maresca didn't want Dewsbury Hall either. He was just handed him by the directors. He was handed in by the directors. But it's scary how many of these players actually aren't good enough to play for this football club. That in itself is a huge, huge worry. You know, and the issue is, right, it's fine to sign these young players, right? But if you don't nurture top talent, which we're not, and if you don't put experienced title winners around that young talent to get the best out of them, then these guys are just going to languish and they're never going to reach the full potential they're capable of. You know, we're not playing Football Manager. We're not playing fucking FIFA. There's absolutely zero guarantees a player gets as good as numbers and data says they will. There's zero guarantees. So we have basically taken a huge, huge gamble on Chelsea becoming as good as we think they're going to become, as these players becoming as good as we think. There's no guarantees at all. Absolutely no guarantees. Bro, people need to wake up. I mean, it's better late than never, but how people cannot see what's going on here is beyond me. How people cannot see what is happening here is a joke. The manager has been severely let down by the sporting directors. He has not been given the tools to carry out the job that was asked of him. He has not been given the tools to do that. No tools to do anything. You know, zero tools, guys, to carry out what needs to be done. That squad, people say it's good enough to finish top four. It's not good enough to finish top four. What are we basing that? What are we basing that on? Finishing top four? Based on what? Because we spent money. That's what people are basing Chelsea finishing the top four on. Is you know, People are purely basing us finishing top 4 on amount of money invested rather than what we've invested on, rather on how the squad's been put together and whatnot. What's going on now is we're getting a severe level of gaslighting going on right now. People falling for the ridiculous briefs and whatnot. There was a lot of poor attitude, body language and attitude of the players last night was not good. There's a lot of moaning, a lot of complaining, next to zero leadership. Nothing. We didn't deserve anything from that game. And unfortunately, that body language, attitude, moaning, complaining, lack of leadership, that all stems from the top, and it rots from the top to the bottom. And we are starting to see that right now. No, bro, we did miss Jackson last night. We absolutely did. From what he brings on the ball, what he brings off the ball. We missed Nicholas Jackson last night. Pure and simple. We missed him last night. That's the reality. That's the reality. We missed him last night. And Nkunku was doing up a French Statue of Liberty up front. One touch in the Brighton box. Offered absolutely zero. Absolutely zero. I'm not blaming him per se, because we knew that we were going to get that before the game even kicked off. When Nkunku starts as a 9, you're not seeing yesterday. I'm not saying we win that game with Jackson up front, by the way, but we look a lot better in attack with Nicholas Jackson than we do in Nkunku leading the line. The problem right now is that our intelligence is being insulted by the club with these endless briefings of bullshit that have got more and more outrageous. You treat fans like idiots, expect that sort of level of contempt in return. It's incredible how you still got fans whose first port of call is to point blame at the manager, instead of those who got paid thousands of pounds to construct a squad, or those who couldn't get a front of shirt sponsor again. This is what we're talking about, guys. This problem is bigger than the manager. This is bigger than the manager. Joao Felix let go. I don't really care that much about Joao Felix, but to let him go and to then bring no active replacement in is a complete farce, a complete and utter farce. And it's true. Right now, we are shit. We are absolutely shit. The last time we won a game, guys, was away again. The last time we won an away game, was against Astana in the Conference League. And what we've become now is we've become a lightweight and entitled group of players. It's fine when we're, slapping up teams in the Conference League, but as soon as things get tough, as soon as we get into difficult moments, everyone fades away. There was not a single piece of leadership or fight on display last night. Where were those leaders when you needed them? Where were those leaders when you needed them last night? Who was stepping up? Who was demanding more? This team was more scared of losing 3-1 than trying to make it 2-2. It's a cup competition. Go for it. We're going out anyway. If you lose 3-1, at least lose going for it. The fact that we were more scared of losing 3-1 than we were trying to equalise, says everything I need to know about this football team and this football club. It says everything I need to know. And people talk the wingers, by the way. Don't get me started on the wingers, who are complete and utter shite. Sancho, what the fuck is he doing at the moment? He just gets the ball, does a few shimmies here and there, tries to drop the shoulder, doesn't take anyone on, recycles possession, passes the ball back, takes no shots. Madueke does the same. Neto does the same. And people criticise Mudryk, right? Mudryk, arguably, no joke, could be our best winger, or is up there as one of our best wingers. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible that people have the cheek to criticise him, and then you're looking at what we're seeing right now, and it is complete and utter shite. No, Sancho won't go back to United in the summer. It's an obligation to buy as long as we don't finish in the bottom 6. We are not finishing in the bottom 6 of the Premier League. So Sancho is a permanent, and he is arriving. I don't think Maresca's lost the dressing room. No, but things are clearly difficult right now, and it's alarming that this same group that he was getting at so much out of earlier in the season, he's now getting absolutely nothing out of. He's now getting absolutely nothing out of these players, and it's the same players. It's the same players that he's getting he was getting loads out of. Is now not getting anything out of them. The worst thing we could do is get rid of the manager. That is not the solution, guys. Getting rid of the manager is not the solution. Look, he's getting things wrong and has got things wrong and needs to improve. No doubt about it. And people and again, people talk about Joao Felix. Oh, we miss Felix. Oh, I've only had Felix. The only time Felix has done anything is when we've been playing part-timers in the Conference League or League Two shitters in the FA Cup. Oh, why did we let him go? Well, we let him go because he did virtually nothing against players who actually play football as their proper job, instead of part-time fuckers that are doing it, that also have a normal job as well. It's Felix. Like, why the club still sign Felix? Why? Why isn't Action Pong starting last night? Why not? Why could he not start in an FA Cup game? He played 2 good games in the Premier League, and then he's barely been seen again. It's clear what Maresca is struggling with right now. But guys, changing managers is not going to fix the core issues. You either get rid of all of them or you get rid of none of them. Either the directors and Maresca go, all 3 of them go, or none of them go. Because if you get rid of Maresca and keep the directors, the same thing's going to happen. And if you get rid of if you get rid of all of them, then there we go. That's the only way anything works. Either get rid of them all or get rid of none of them, because they're not going to get rid of the directors. They're simply not. But the squad is horribly assembled, and the biggest problem are the 2 morons who put this squad together. Too many forwards who are ineffective, glaring gaps elsewhere. No forward, as we said, no spine, nothing. And until that's addressed, any manager is going to struggle. I don't want to hear people telling me, oh, so-and-so would have done better. I don't care who's in charge of this current squad. Put any manager in charge of this current group, and they're not doing any better. They're having the same issues and the same struggles because we are weak mentality, no leadership, hardly any character, And this is where this data-led approach falls down, because numbers aren't going to tell you about someone's desire to run back. They're not going to tell you about someone's desire to work even harder when things are getting tough. The sulking, the gesticulating, throwing their arms up when things go wrong, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. There's not an ounce of accountability from anyone in this squad. There's not an ounce of accountability from anyone. From top to bottom, there is zero accountability anywhere. Zero accountability anywhere. Bro, Conte did not win with utter shit. Are you mental? Are you serious? You're saying that Conte won with shit? Are you okay? Conte won from shit, did he? Conte won from shit. Okay, mate. Whatever. I don't know what qualifies as proper Chelsea in your book. But yeah, fine. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. No problem at all. No, he's struggling more, but like he was never going to be as good as last season. He wasn't ever going to be as good as last season. You know, yeah, it was. It was definitely there's no denying that. It was absolutely good enough to put in a better performance than that. It was absolutely good enough to put in a better performance than that. Yeah, bro, we're not doing any of that. None of that's happening. Uh, the solutions to all our now, I don't mind Cucurella inverting. The problem we have is is that when you invert Cucurella, Gusto or whoever Gusto has to go into a back three, and you take away what he's good at and what Reece James is good at as well, and that's getting forward, attacking, getting up and down the pitch, putting balls into the box. You basically make the right hand side completely and utterly redundant when you invert from the left hand side. You know, the only player the inverted role suits is Cucurella. That's the only one it suits. It doesn't suit Gusto, and it doesn't particularly suit Reece James, who, by the way, where was Reece James last night? Where was he? It was part of the plan, was it, to not play him? Part of the plan, was it? Okay, of course it was. Why is the captain of the football club, regardless of whether he's injured or not available, why is the club captain not on the bench? Why is he not traveled with the team? Why is he not in the dressing room last night? Apparently he's not injured. That sort of shit is part of the problem we have right now. Awful, awful mentality. Mentality in the fucking bin, or there's parts of the story that aren't coming out. Could you imagine in days gone by, the club captain, even if he was injured, not traveling with the squad to a big game, not being there in the dressing room, not being there on the bench? Why is this okay? Why is this okay now? Somebody please tell me why this is suddenly acceptable. And this sums up the mentality that we've got right now. This sums up the mentality that we've got right now. Where's the captain when you need him? Where's that captain? He's nowhere. He's absolutely nowhere. And that in itself is a big part of the issue. Where's Reece? Where's Reece? Why is he not there on the bench? Why is he not in the dressing room? Like, and we're supposed to believe Maresca that it was, oh, he's okay, no injury. It was a planned absence. He's training with the squad. Bro, he's not trained all week. He's not been in any training photos all week. And this is what I'm talking about. Let's stop lying all the time. People are seeing through it now. People are wising up to it. The club are just treating us like complete and utter idiots. Complete and utter idiots. We're just being lied to time and time again. And I'm sick of it. Absolutely sick of it. It's not good enough. You know, and what's happening now is indefensible. Indefensible. And getting rid of the manager would be a massive mistake, because it means nothing if people above him face zero accountability, and no one's facing any accountability. And that is the problem at Chelsea right now. This is a club that is bereft of accountability or serious expectations to do better. Soulless performances from the players reflect soulless leadership at the top of the football club. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. This all stems from the top. What is going on is a trickle-down effect of unacceptable bullshit from the top down to the pitch. This shit is filtering through. This is filtering through. I don't think he is. Bro, have you seen the squad that's been put together? It is shit. It's not fit for purpose. It's not fit for purpose. You're falling into the PR bullshit that they want you to believe. They want you to believe that this is the manager's fault. That's what they want you to believe. And you're falling into that. The manager has got responsibility to take. Absolutely. There's responsibility for the manager to take. Not denying that whatsoever. Not denying that whatsoever. But to say there's no blame on the directors, you can't be serious. You cannot be serious. You can't genuinely think that, because there's only two people responsible for putting this squad together, which isn't good enough. And it's not the manager. It's the directors. And you're saying they're blameless. Cool. Okay, mate. The squad building is so bad. I don't know how people can't see this or they're ignoring it. Sure, the manager could change his tactics. Yes, absolutely, he could. Absolutely, he could. The manager could change his tactics. I'm not saying that Maresca's blameless. He absolutely isn't. He absolutely isn't blameless. But the problems are far greater than the manager. They're far greater than the manager. Exactly. Another thing that comes down to it, you buy players who, like you buy wingers like Neto, for example, who isn't a goal-scoring winger. He's creative. He puts a lot of balls into the box. When he was playing well at Wolves, there was Jimenez in there, or there was Cunha, or there was Hwang, who was doing quite well at the time. You sign Neto, and you've got no striker who can take advantage of crosses into the box. Why? And what are you expecting? What are you expecting different to happen? What are you expecting different to happen? No, he wouldn't have done. Bro, there's a reason why Jose's in Turkey right now. There's a reason why. I didn't think it would be long until we reach this stage again where people are fucking talking about Mourinho coming back. Yes, but we also had other experienced players on the pitch. We weren't a team just full of kids. Bro, this is nonsense. Yeah, we did better in the cups. Sure. Have you seen every round of the cup was at home, bar an FA Cup replay against Villa, where we played very well, admittedly. Carabao Cup. Are you forgetting we lost the away leg against Middlesbrough? Are you forgetting how poor our performance was in the final against Liverpool's reserves? Are you forgetting the fact that this time last season we were mid-table? Guys, your argument loses all credibility when you mention Pochettino. Uses all credibility when you mention Poch. Oh, we're not winning next Friday. We're not winning next Friday. No way. No chance of we winning next Friday. What is going to change between now and Friday night? Well, I can't see anything changing. And people saying, oh, the owners have done good. Praise. When you're evaluating something, you have to be fair. There have been some good things, but it is undeniable that there's been more bad than good. That is irrefutable. That is straight up fact. There's been more bad than good, and they've done a lot of things wrong, and they need to face up to they need to face the music. They need to improve. They need to make better decisions. They need to do better. Everyone at the football club, from top to bottom, needs to do better, because there is a pathetic, weak mentality seeping through that is affecting us now. Pathetic, weak mentality that is seeping through and affecting things, both off the pitch and on the pitch. That's the reality. Yeah, bro, this is it. People don't think straight. People think that Mourinho, who's managing in Turkey now, would be the answer. No. Yeah, we need Jackson to come back for this game. Bro, this is not Maresca's fault. This is not all Maresca's fault. If you think this is solely on the manager, then you are very, very much misguided, and you're feeding into the exact narrative that the club want you to believe in. You're feeding into the exact narrative they want you to believe in. Bro, Poch was shit. Like, this Poch revisionism is embarrassing. We were 12 this time last season. We were mid-table. We're 4th now. Okay, sure, we were still in the cups. Fine. We were mid-table. Are you telling me that you'd swap to still be in the cups, right? And be mid-table? No, you wouldn't. So what is the point of bringing up Pochettino? You can't seriously be telling me you'd rather be mid-table but still in the cups. It's bullshit. It is complete and utter bullshit. People doing up this Poch revisionism. It's so poor. These owners were the best choice we had out of the 4. These were the best choice out of the 4. And, you know, I'm never going to go into something being negative. I'm not going to go into something and think, oh, this is going to be shit. These guys are going to be shit from the get-go. You go in with an open mind. You go in with some sort of positivity. Okay, that's what you do. That's what you do. You know, you go in with an open mind. You go in with some positivity. Things were going to be different. Sorry. How did he prove it was good enough to compete? Well, he proved it was good enough to compete by having us mid-table for the majority of the season. Okay, cool. Interesting. So it proved it good enough to compete, but we were mid-table for the vast majority of the season. We're now 4th a year later, compared to being mid-table this time last season. But because we won some easy cup ties, apparently that means that this team was capable of competing. It's nonsense. It is complete and utter nonsense. Like, people just doing up. You know, it's nonsense. And look, the ownership, it's a problem for the ownership. Sure, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. I've never once said it's not a problem. It is a problem. But the reality is, guys, that this ownership are not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. But the tactics have got to change. Something needs to be different, because if we just keep doing the same shit that we're doing, we're going to get the same results. We're going to get the same results. We're gonna see the same results. Bro, sure, you beat Newcastle on penalties in the Carabao Cup. What does that mean? It means nothing. It means nothing. What's that got to do with anything? What's that got to do with anything? Someone please tell me what that's got to do with anything. Guys, keep smashing the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. We've got 180 in the building. Smash those likes. Subscribe if you're new around here. Would greatly appreciate it. Yep, my Clown Lake chakes is in the post. Yep, sure. It's incredible that people are that brainwashed and actually believe that I've been paid by the club, mate. They've deposited a load of money in my account, and I've never said anything bad about them in exchange of it. Cool. If you actually think that, that's quite interesting, and proves that you just believe anything. Because that is complete and utter nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense, but cool. Whatever. You know, if someone doesn't have the same opinion as you, then you accuse them of being bought. Zero credibility to any argument you have. Yeah, the world's flat. The world's flat as well. There's actually 360 days in the year. Look, I'm not. Everyone, there's no doubt there's a massive issue with a lack of patience amongst Chelsea supporters. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But there's a massive issue right now. Yeah, I mean, it's quite incredible. I'll tell you what, if I was being paid by the club, I would be honest about it. The fact that people genuinely think that I'm being paid by the club is quite incredible. Quite incredible. I'm very critical of the football club on multiple levels all the time. I spent the last month battering the January transfer window and criticizing the directors and not, but apparently I've been paid by the club not to say anything negative. Yeah, bro, this is it. You know, it's like if you've got a different opinion, it means you've been bought off or you've been paid off. Like, guys, we can have constructive debates and differences of opinion, but as soon as someone says, oh, if you've got a different opinion, oh, you've been paid off, you've been bought, your argument loses all credibility. You know, people got to have different opinions on things. No problem. It'd be boring if we all thought the same, but to then accuse people of being paid off because they've got a different opinion is mad. It is a mad one, but yeah, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, it is what it is. When did he say that? When did he say that? No, I don't know what's happened there. I've got no idea if there's a get out clause or not, but it was made very clear at the time that Abramovich put in an anti-Glazers clause. Put in an anti-Glazers clause, which meant that the club couldn't be sold for 10 years. That was common knowledge at the time. If people can find the legitimate documents which say that there is a get out clause, if people can find legitimate evidence that says there's a get out clause for these owners to get out before 10 years, fair enough. But as far as I'm aware, from what I've heard at the time, and I've not looked into it recently, the whole point is that there was no get out clause. The whole point of an anti-Glazers clause being put in was so that they couldn't come in and sell up within 10 years. Now, of course, people within the consortium can obviously buy and sell shares and get different levels of and have different levels of shared. Like if he said it, I've not heard or seen him say it. But if you're telling me he said it, then he said it. Okay, fine. I don't know what you want me to say about it. You know, I've not heard him say it. I've not seen the clip where he said it. I've not spoken to him about it. But if you're telling me he said it, then fair enough. He said it. The Glazers haven't sold. Last time I checked, is Jim Ratcliffe full owner? Is he? Last time I checked, 25% did not mean that you were a majority owner. So no, they haven't sold. The Glazers are still in charge of Man United. The Glazers are still in charge of Man United. Ineos have got 25%. It's 75% Glazers, bro. So if you think that just because they've sold 25%, that means they've sold up, they haven't sold up. They've sold a quarter. They have got 3/4 of the club still. And you're trying to tell me that they've sold? Come on. That's just not true. That just isn't true, is it? Exactly. Ineos run the football side. Everything else is done by the Glazers. Everything is done by the Glazers. Yes, but they can sell to them. They can sell within the consortium, sure. They can't. So, like, Bowley could buy out Egg Barley, or Egg Barley could buy Bowley shares, sure. But we can't sell to an external one. That's the point. Exactly. If you've got 25% of a business and someone else has 75%, your say is very limited. Your say is very limited. So please tell me who was better then. You would have rather had Ricketts, would you? Ricketts, you would have rather had them, who are known racists. Would you rather have had those guys? Would you have rather have had, I can't remember who else was in the running now, but please tell me who was better. Who would have been a better solution than this that was actively in the running and realistic? Oh, bro, please tell me where, please point me to the information where it says that that's a lie. Please point me to the information where that's missing. Please point to me to the information and the evidence that suggests that that is misleading. If you can find that evidence, fine. If you can't find it or it doesn't exist, it's a nonsense point. You know, it's not true. And look, it's fine. People are going to have different views on things. No problem. Exactly. The fucking Candy Crush man, or whoever it but he was. Ratcliffe would have been absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. The Saudi media group never bid. They never bid. You know, they never bid. Like, I've got no problem with people saying things, but bring evidence to provide to back up what you're trying to say. Because if there is no evidence, then you're just talking nonsense at the end of the day. You know, at the end of the day, bro, I posted the chant. Like if I was worried, I wouldn't have posted it. Like this is honestly nonsense. I mean, this is how brainwashed people become, and now these minerals minions like believe anything. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. But my evidence, or the evidence that the evidence, people are making claims and are pointing to no evidence. Bro, you only have to look. You only have to look at Ratcliffe and look at Ineos right now, and how much Man United fans hate them and what they're doing to that football club. And people are telling me that they would have wanted them here. Again, there's this idea that people record the whole match is just utter nonsense. Not true at all. Yes, Glazers, Ineos are in charge of the footballing side, and they make footballing decisions. Between them, they are both shit. Both of them are shit. Ineos have done damage to Man United, and people are saying that they would have wanted Jim Ratcliffe here. Look what he's done. Look what he's done. Look what the Glazers have done. And people are trying to say that Ratcliffe would have been better for us. No. Yeah, everyone wants the club to succeed, and I've got it. It's absolutely fine that people have got different opinions, but when you've got people accusing people of being sellouts and accusing people of taking money from the club and this and that, guys, your argument loses all credibility. If that's what you have to resort to, it means you've got nothing. You've got no debate. You've got no point to make. You know, if you disagree with me, fine. I'm more than happy for people to disagree, but at least bring a valid argument to the table and a constructive conversation rather than saying, "Oh, you're paid. You're paid." Because if you say that, it just basically means you've got no comeback. You've got no point to make. You know. So yeah, we all know there's massive problems. Yeah, it's written all over me. Yeah, of course, cool. Yep, guys, I'm just gonna. Do you know what? You're right. I couldn't care less how the club does. Doesn't make any difference to me. Not a proper fan. I'll just wait for my paychecks to come into the account from Chelsea. No, you're right. I don't go up and down the country following the team week in, week out. I don't get in at 1:30 a.m. last night after watching that load of shit. But apparently, not a proper fan. Apparently bought. Yeah, cool. All right, great. Yeah, well done, guys. It's incredible how brainwashed people are. Absolutely incredible. It's mad. Absolutely mad. But hey, people will believe anything they're told. People will believe anything they're told. And that's the dangers of the internet. If you've got people pushing a certain message, people just believe anything. They will believe anything. Yep, absolutely correct. Yep, well done. Absolutely right. They're paying me thousands a month, guys. Thousands a month. Do you know what? I could probably give up my job with how much money they're paying me. I wonder why. Yeah, maybe I just won't work full time anymore, because the amount of money the club are paying me means I won't need to do that. Cool. Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone else want the money, guys? Reach out to me. Send me your bank details, and we can share all the money that the club are paying me. We can share the money. Who wants in? Who wants in, guys? I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement. Let's set up a little WhatsApp group. Let's get all your bank details in there, guys. And when the thousands of pounds drops in from the club into my account, because obviously it does, then yeah, Dave, no problem, mate. I'll lend you a tenner, bro. I'll lend you a tenner. When that money drops in from Bowley. Do you see how utterly farcical it sounds when people say that? do you get what I'm saying? Do you get how farcical it sounds? This is the point that I'm making. It's a complete and utter farce. Yeah, look. At the end of the day, there are issues within the fan base. Of course, there are. There absolutely are. There's no escaping that. There's no denying that. Then there's no denying that whatsoever. Yeah, the ownership has been a disgrace. No one's backing what's going on, because it is impossible to back what's going on. Absolutely impossible. Bro, I never said we're going to finish fourth. Never said that we were going to finish fourth. We're still in a position where somehow we are fourth, but I said as soon as the January window closed, I said that we're not finishing top four, because we weakened the squad. And things are going downhill fast. I'm not dismissing Pochettino's last half of the season. I'm not dismissing that. Things are going downhill, and things are going downhill quickly. And that we need to rectify it. We need to rectify it ASAP. We need to rectify it ASAP, because there are issues that are going on right now that are unacceptable. Unacceptable. And I've never hidden away from that. I've constantly called out what's going on. I don't hate anyone in the chat. I don't know most of the people in the chat. I don't dislike anyone. But if people sort of come with narratives that aren't true, then of course I will respond and hit back at those. But it's not a personal thing. It's nothing. It's all love at the end of the day. We all want Chelsea to do well, and I get it that people are obviously hurting with what's going on, are upset with what's going on, want things to change. No, what I'm saying is that any form of protest needs to be done in the right way. They've got to be peaceful and they've got to be organized. You know, you can't just give the media a reason to blame fans for creating and causing chaos. You know, because at the end of the day, if you're going to do this, you need to do it properly. You need to put together a list of issues which people are unhappy about, because right now there's too many conflicting points going around. There's too many conflicting points going around. If you're going to do it, you need to do it properly. You need to get the relevant people involved. You need to get the fan advisory board. You need to get a Chelsea supporters trust. You need to get a list of points that the majority of the fan base agree on. Because right now there's too much, you know, too much miscomparison between points that are going on. There needs to be a yes, guys. Bro, I'm not sure if you're new to the channel. I've been vocal about things for a long time. Long time. So I'm not sure where that comes from. Yeah, guys, run the likes up. Run the likes up. What are we on? 97 likes. Guys, let's get this over 100 likes. Please keep smashing the like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. That would be greatly appreciated. But let's run this up over 100 likes, guys. That would be absolutely fantastic. Please do that, guys. It would be greatly appreciated. Bro, I'm not spreading misinformation. I've not made it up. Misinformation is making stuff up. I've not made anything up about that. And if I'm spreading misinformation, please point me to the correct information where that's not the case. No, even if fans boycott, you're always going to have people in the ground. That's the reality of the situation. I don't really know. Someone asking. I don't think they would run to the hills. They don't seem to be that. They don't seem to be that fussed. You know, Bowley said nothing since that ticket stuff come out. Said nothing. Then I don't think they're that fussed at the end of the day. Bro, I'm not hating on anybody. I'm not hating on anybody. Bro, it's always been the case. At the moment, we're just doing a thing where we're just chucking as much shit at the wall as possible and hoping and hoping stuff sticks. That's what we're talking about. Bro, I don't know I don't really know what they do. I would like to think that when they have the meetings, they feed back the true feelings of the supporters to the football club. The true feelings of the supporters to the football club. I really hope that's what's happening, but I actually don't know. I actually don't know is the honest answer there. I've got no idea. I've got no idea what they do. I don't know what they do. To be honest, I haven't looked into it, but I'd like to think that the fan advisory board, the supporters trust, when they meet with the club and speak with the club, whoever they speak to, I'd like to think that they are feeding back information on what's going on. But again, the protesting can work and does work, but you need to get the relevant people involved, and you need to make sure that more than 10 people are going to turn up. because a protest really works with power in numbers, safety in numbers. It's not going to work if you get 5 or 6 people turning up, or 10 people. You know, you need to get the majority of the fan base on board. And I'm not saying that's easy, by the way. I'm not saying that the protests that have happened where no one's I'm certainly not accepting standards, but I'm also not going to sit here and say that we should be winning the league, because we're not good enough to win the league. That's the reality. You know, we're not good enough to win the league. So I'm a little bit confused by all that. I mean, look, the amount of American owners in the Premier League is a separate point, you know. But regardless of what nationality these owners are, it's nothing to do with the fact that they're American. If they were Japanese, if they were French or whatever, and they were doing the same thing, it would still be an issue. This is not a nationality issue, and it's important that people obviously realize that. But yeah, we need to make sure that everyone's on the same side with this one, because the Chelsea fan base are united. They are united in the fact that this isn't good enough, and that something needs to change. Yeah, we need to. We need to. The fact is, right now, is that our standard is trying to get back into the top 4. So it's all very well saying, oh, we should be winning Premier League, we should be doing that. The standard is always to win at Chelsea. But right now, there has to be a realization that we're not in an ability yeah, sure. There's absolutely some degree of that. I don't disagree with you that is a fair and valid point. That we are seeing Americanisms coming in, like halftime DJ and all that sort of. I get it. I hear you on that. You know, you're not wrong there. Yes, big up, big up, big up. Oh mate, let's stop doing this. Yeah, and that's a bigger issue, and that's what comes from the top. That's what comes from the top as a massive, massive problem. That is a huge issue that comes from the top, guys. You know, that is a huge issue that comes from the top, and that seeps down, people. That seeps down. No, Myers Elite, obviously, you must be new to the channel, because I have never once said that that's okay. I've consistently called out dog shit treatment of players. You must be new to the channel. Like, bro, Bowley doesn't make any footballing decisions. He's involved in a very small scale. He is a minority shareholder. No, this is not true, but the reality is, right, most of the noise comes from online. That there's disgruntlement in the ground, absolutely. But ultimately, going from taking that disgruntlement into actual action, I would agree that most match-going fans don't seem to be that bothered, in terms of, yes, they're bothered that the team aren't doing well and they want the team to do better and they want to be winning. But when it comes to trying to move things forward and make things happen, people like talk a big game, but then when it comes to turning up to protests and things like that, no one turns up. And so that's where we need to get to a situation where something's properly organized and you do something to ensure that people do turn up. Because why is it that obviously barring the Super League protest, which was completely different, why is it when these protests get put together, why is no one turning up? Why are you getting like 10 people? There must be a reason for that. Okay, maybe it could be advertised better. Maybe you could get more the relevant authorities on board. But why are people not turning up? Because bro, no, a boycott is not going to do anything, because you're never going to get an empty stadium. You're never going to get an empty stadium. There will always be people in the ground. If match going fans, season ticket holders, regulars don't go, other people will just go. That's the reality. Other people will just turn up. So there's always going to be people in there. Conference League is Conference League. It's Conference League or bust at the moment. It's Conference League or bust. That is literally the only chance of winning a trophy. It is Conference League or bust. Yes, but people will still go because they'll buy the tickets, get the points, and then sell them to someone else. You're not going to get an empty ground. If you think you're going to get an empty stadium, then it's not going to happen. People say this stuff all the time. Oh, they can swap. Bro, once you've gone in, once you've entered the ground, you can't come back out until full time. People are always going to buy merchandise. People always say these things, but the reality of them is no one's going to stop buying merchandise. You're not going to get enough people to stop buying tickets and not going to matches. Even if regulars don't go, there will always be other people going. This is exactly it. They don't care. They don't care whether they're watching something good or watching something shit. They want to be there for the experience of, I was at a Premier League game. You can make change, but it requires things to be organized properly. And clearly, whilst people's intentions are in the right place, the last few things that have been organized have not really done anything because they're not been advertised properly, and seemingly people aren't. I don't know. That's very difficult to tell. Very difficult to tell. Bro, getting rid of the sporting directors will be the start of making things better. That'll be the start of making things better. You've got to pick battles that you can win, and you've got to start small and work your way up. There's no point sort of thinking, let's go straight in for a mass boycott when protests that have been organized before haven't attracted anywhere near enough people to make any sort of meaningful impact. Yeah, fair. To be honest, I think I bought the away shirt last season, but yeah, I've bought less and less recently. But Tommy, like one or two people doing it's not really going to make much difference when you've got tourists spending 500-600 quid in the club shop on match days. That's the reality, guys. That is the unfortunate reality. Yeah, I've never said it's not worth doing something, but you've got to make it right. It's sure it's better than nothing, but it's not getting the message through. If you get a lot of people going and you get power behind the message, you're far likely to make an impact. If there's an ownership, you're looking at a protest and you see that 10 people have turned up to a protest, you're looking at that and you're thinking, that doesn't really reflect the majority feeling of the fan base. You know, the feeling can't be that strong about that sort of thing. That's why you need to get loads of people turning up. You need to make sure it's advertised properly. You need to make sure that everyone's protesting for the right reasons and that people are all on the same page. That's how you're going to make more of a meaningful impact. And so I've got no issue with protests, but it needs to be organized in the right way. That's the thing. You need to get supporters trust on board. You need to get fan advisory board on board as well. So that's the important thing. We have some, but you know, it is going to be difficult to, bro. Not today. I'll do a call-in show at some point next week. But yeah, look, it's an issue, guys. No doubt about it. People keep smashing the likes. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. Would greatly appreciate that. Let's run these likes up, guys. Run it up, run it up, run it up. That would be greatly appreciated. Be greatly appreciated. Let's try and get this to 120 likes if we can. We're on 109 right now. Come on, people. Yeah. And that's going to continue to happen. That is going to continue to happen. They are important to the revenue. They're going to contribute much more than general match-going fans are. You know, they're going to contribute more than general match-going fans are, because general match-going fans aren't spending £400-500 in the club shop. And that's what they want. They want people to spend more at the ground. And your general season ticket holder and match-going fan is not going to be spending that sort of money at the ground. Bro, it could well be. It could well be. It could well be. But we will we will see. We will see on that one. We'll see on that one. Sure, Gallagher was important and hardworking, but there's no point reminiscing now on players that aren't here. There's nothing we can do about that. We can say, oh, that shouldn't have happened, that shouldn't have happened. It has happened, and we have to deal with the here and the now. We have to deal with the here and now. But again, it goes back to squad building. You spent over £250,000 on two midfielders who have got zero goal threat. Zero goal threat. You know, bro, that's not. If that happens, mate, fair play. But I would say that's almost no chance of that happening whatsoever. Basically, no chance. Yeah. It's no good, guys. It's no good whatsoever. To be fair, it's no surprise that I said many times that I would have kept Gallagher. I would have kept him because he would have been a useful squad player this season. You can't tell me that Gallagher wouldn't have played last night or wouldn't have played a role this season. I'm not saying starting every week. Gallagher's not here because they wanted purely for financial reasons. Nothing to do with footballing reasons. Gallagher is not here for pure finances. I've gone on record and said many, many times. I'd say 60, 70 quid or something. I actually don't know. I never sit there. Yeah, bro, there's no evidence. We're not keeping any clean sheets. Unless we're playing a bunch of farmers in the Conference League, we're not keeping any clean sheets. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows it, people. Lavia is a guy we don't really focus on as well. He's so good, but yeah, he just can't stay fit. It's a massive problem. Bro, this Amugu's is barely going to feature for us over the second half of the season. He's barely going to feature. But yeah, look, I don't know how much is going to change between now and Friday. I don't really see how much does change. I don't see how much does change. We created 0 big chances last night. Nkunku had 1 touch in the box. The wingers did absolutely nothing. You know? Yeah, it's a problem. It's a massive, massive problem. But we have to get Champions League football, because if we don't, well, we're fucked. Absolutely fucked. Who was that? What, Chalobah? You referring to Chalobah? Yeah, we need Jackson to be back. Yeah, this is my point. Like, people sort of criticize Mudryk, but I tell you what, we've missed him. We have missed him. 100% we've missed him. You know, different profile, does make things happen. That unpredictability, he's direct, gets in behind, puts balls into the box. We do need Mudryk. Oh, Tarek Lamptey. Yeah, of course, I forgot about him. We do need him. Big up to Thomas. Thanks for the donation, bro. No, we are missing Mudryk. There's no doubt about it. We're missing a player of that profile. 100%, guys. 100% we're missing a player of that profile. The inverting thing, whilst it suits Cucurella, it makes the right back redundant. Gusto and James, their best attributes are bombing forward, putting balls into the box. When Cucurella inverts and you go into a back 3 in possession, you've got Gusto or James playing right centre back. They can't get up the pitch. Last few games, Gusto and James have barely put balls into the box, barely got forward. The system, by design, is limiting our best players, is limiting Reece James, is limiting Gusto to be getting forward. You know? Fucking joke. Absolute joke. It certainly feels that way. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened, but there's no coincidence there. No coincidence there that's kind of coincided. There's no coincidence there that it's coincided with that news coming out that yeah, we're struggling a little bit. Yeah, Jackson's been a massive miss. Of course he has. Because when Nkunku goes up there, you get nothing. You get absolutely nothing. I mean, I hope somehow we can get top 5. Hopefully 5th can be Champions League football, because I think top 4 right now is going to be very, very difficult for us in our current guys. It's going to be very, very difficult for us in the current guys. The manager's good. Like, the manager needs to do better, but the manager's not the problem. As fans, we need to get behind the manager and support the manager, who's been let down massively, massively by the sporting directors. Does he need to do better? Sure, absolutely. But is he the main problem? No, he's not. And until we make changes above, it's not going to matter who the manager is. And be careful what you wish for, guys, because I can guarantee it now. If the manager goes, Liam Rossini is on that first flight from France, and he'll probably be the next manager. Be careful what you wish for. Be very careful what you wish for, is all I'll say. Be very, very careful what you wish for. Nothing will change if the mentality of the manager and the players doesn't change. We have to go for the win. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Exactly. Exactly. This is the thing. Hiring and firing doesn't work. Of course, yeah, we are. We're in big trouble. But that's the gamble that's the decisions that we made. We made a rod for our own back by doing that. Yep, quite possibly does. Exactly. Like people thinking, oh, the manager goes, we'll get someone, we're going to get an elite manager in. No, we're not. It'll be Rossini. We might try for McKenna if they go down. Do you know what I mean? It's bullshit. Bro, it doesn't work. Name me one club that hires and fires in this modern day football that is successful. Give me one. There isn't one. Because the hiring and firing phase is finished. Yep, again, we could have done that. We could have done that. Bro, Bayern's a one team league. One team league. It's very different. The Premier League, you can't do it. But let's not forget, under Roman, let's not forget, guys, by the way, we've won nothing since 2017 in terms of domestic trophies. Nothing. A couple of big European trophies, 2 European trophies in 12 years, papered over what's been a huge demise domestically since 2017. We haven't challenged once for the Premier League since 2017. Not once. So this is a demise that's set in well before this ownership came here. Obviously, this ownership has to take responsibility for what's going on now, but we've not suddenly, oh, Roman's gone, we've suddenly become shit domestically. No Premier League title since 2017, not challenged for the Premier League once since then, not won a single domestic trophy since then either. So no, I never said that. We lost at Wembley because we were shit. Again, people are completely missing the point. I'm not hating at all. All I'm saying is that people, every Chelsea fan loves Roman and is forever grateful for what he's done. But people seem to conveniently ignore anything bad that happened under him. They ignore, won the league in 2017, signed Saul on loan, or whatever it was. You know, he was amazing for us. But let's not pretend mistakes weren't made. The recruitment in the last 5 years he was here was shocking. Absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking for a football club that had the success that we had. Everyone loves Roman, but why people refuse to acknowledge the bad things that also took place under him is strange. Yeah, but that's got nothing to do with us not. Yeah, sure, he was, but that's got nothing to do with us not competing for the Premier League since 2017. That's got nothing to do with us not winning a domestic cup since 2017. I understand what people are not getting about this. I don't understand what people are not understanding about this. I'm not criticizing Roman. I'm purely pointing out that when people speak about him, they ignore anything that wasn't good. They just completely ignore it. You can't do that. The rot set in 2017 domestically. You know, there's a reason why. Sure, but what I'm saying is that the squad was neglected in the last 5 years of him. Like, I'm not sure what people are not getting here. Yes, but that's got nothing to do with why we couldn't compete for a Premier League title since 2017. That's got nothing to do. Just because he couldn't get in the country doesn't mean that's not why we couldn't compete for a Premier League title. Yeah, sure. But like what I'm saying is when you're providing a balanced argument, you can't just ignore the bad because the good was really good. That's the only point that I'm making. I don't know if we were en route to the Premier League with Tuchel. I really don't know because with Tuchel we got nowhere near the Premier League either. You know. Yeah, I'm not saying he didn't. The only thing, all I'm saying is that people ignore the bad stuff. That's all I'm saying. It's nothing more. It's nothing more than that. No, only reason I'm mentioning it is because someone mentioned it in the chat. It's been and gone now. He's not coming back. It's not changing. But I mentioned it because it was mentioned in the chat. That's the only reason I'm talking about it. And yes, of course, it's affected us and it's made a difference. Yeah, exactly. Sure, I understand that. The only point I'm making is that you like when you're providing a balanced argument, you can't just ignore bad stuff or things that weren't so good. You have to provide a full balanced argument. I mean, I'm slightly concerned that there is a chance we might not win that given the current form we're on, but hopefully that won't be the case. I really hope that won't be the case. Yes, of course. But look at those leagues. PSG, one-man league. The target at PSG is nothing domestically. It's to win the Champions League. They've hired and fired, had so many different managers, never won the Champions League. So that PSG not a relevant example. Bayern Munich, generally speaking, a one-man league. Again, judged at Bayern Munich on winning the Champions League. They've not got that close to winning a Champions League since they last won it, 5 years ago. So again, not a very good example. Real Madrid's Real Madrid. So, and you're looking at leagues that, generally speaking, are not competitive leagues. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The money has been chronically misspent. Chronically misspent. No, and I don't either. No one wants that. No one wants that. bro. I've never said he wasn't. I've never said he wasn't. I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know where this was coming from. That's the point. I don't know where it's coming from, guys. Uh, we can win on Friday, but whether we will or not is a different conversation. The 3 years we've been in the stop, sort of like, yeah, I know, I know. I only mentioned it because someone mentioned it in the chat. It's pointless talking about the past. It's not going to change anything. Yeah, I agree. Mentality is a massive problem. Bro, it's not my responsibility to sort out a protest. It's not my responsibility to do that. Why are people? Why are people expecting? Why is it my responsibility? But yeah. Anyway, guys, I need to crack on with the day now. Big love to everyone that's tuned in. Appreciate each and every single person, even if you've got different opinions. Doesn't bother me. Everyone wants Chelsea to do well at the end of the day. Let's hope. Let's hope that things can change. Let's hope Friday we get a result. Obviously, let's see what the week ahead's got in store for us. Big love to everyone in the chat, guys. Appreciate each and every single one of you. We all want Chelsea to, guys, yeah, just at the door now. Just at the door now. The brown envelope's being delivered with cash in hand for me. Yeah, I'll go down and collect that. Yeah, maybe I'll go and treat myself on this Sunday afternoon with my brown envelope cash. Yeah. Anyway, now big love, big love. Yeah, mental. Yeah, they're in it. They're in it. It's there. Anyway, guys, big love. Smash the likes on your way out. Subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll catch you lot tomorrow with either an upload or a stream. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Big up for the support. And yes, I will. If there's protests that I've become aware of, then I will inform people about them and when they're happening, and people can take part if they wish to do so. But yes, big up, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Smash the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hopefully better times are coming. We don't know. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.